Hi everyone, Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you guys our budget for our cruise. We're going on a cruise in October for those of you who may not know. So I thought it'd be a good idea to share what our budget looks like so that way you guys can kind of get a sense for all of the things that you should consider if you ever do want to go on a cruise vacation. So I am a travel agent, so if you guys ever need assistance planning and booking and doing all of that with your cruise, you can always email me. I'll leave my email in the description box below. But basically we're going to jump on the computer because I have my budget laid out on my Excel. I'm going to go over things to keep in mind, different variables that might affect your budget differently than what mine looks like. So let's jump on the computer. We're on my Excel sheet. Now you could do this very simply on a piece of paper if you wanted to. For those of you who follow the channel, you know I like to do our budgets on Excel. So this is just another tab within my budget that just says our cruise budget. So this is basically in between my September and my October budget. I have our cruise budget. So I just went through and listed every single thing that we would be spending money on. So the first thing obviously is the cruise vacation itself, okay? So the different variables that are going to affect how much this is going to cost you. One is the cruise line you're cruising on. Are you going to cruise on one of what we call the mega ships, one of the bigger ships, or are you going to cruise on one of the more luxury ships that are maybe a little bit smaller? The actual cruise line that you're going to cruise on is going to affect the price. The size ship that you decide to sail on is going to affect the price. The destinations that you want to go to will affect the price. How many nights are going to be on the ship? What type of room do you want while on the ship? And how many people are going to be in your room? Also, depending on what time of year you book, some times of year are a little less expensive than others. The other thing is if there's any special deals going on. We actually got really lucky and we booked during a kids sail free promotion with Royal Caribbean. Now, if that's something that you guys are interested in, I can always keep an eye out for you. And as soon as we see that promotion, you know, we can get you going with that. So for us, I'm just going to break down, out of all those different variables, we're going to see which ones applied for us specifically for this cruise. So we are doing a 7-night Western Caribbean cruise that leaves from Galveston, Texas. We're sailing on Liberty of the Seas. One of Royal Caribbean's bigger ships, but it's not the biggest in the world. It goes to Cozumel, Mexico, Grand Cayman, and Jamaica. We have 4 people in one room. And like I mentioned, we were able to get a kids sail free. Now, when it's kids sail free, it doesn't mean they're 100% free. You still have to pay for the port fees and taxes. So basically, for us, it came out to, both of my girls were only about $94 and some change each. The rest of this price here is basically for my husband and I. We did end up getting a aft balcony. We're on deck 10, cabin 1700. So we're actually at the very back of the ship. We're on the highest deck of those, and we're in the corner. So our room is actually wider than some of the other standard balconies. Now, we really got a great deal by booking the kids sail free, because if we were to book the same exact room without that promotion, we would have spent closer to $3,000. So we saved about $1,000 by having that kids sail free promotion. We originally budgeted just for a standard balcony room, expecting us to pay for everybody, and it would have been about maybe $2,500, $2,600. So we actually still saved. We spent less than we originally budgeted, and we got a better room. Those are all things to think about when the price for the actual cruise. Okay, so you can see here it's going to be it's basically $2,170. This is green, and I put an X because we've already paid it. So we've paid for the full cruise, already ready to go. So what's included in this amount here? So the cruise itself. So the cruise basically, like I said, it's 7 nights. So you have 7-night accommodation. So you have your room for 7 nights. All of your meals included. Now there are specialty restaurants that do charge extra, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. There are drink packages for alcohol, drinks, and things like that. That would be extra. Your basic water, tea, and juices with breakfast, lunch, and dinner are included with your meal. You also have all of the entertainment on board. So they have Broadway, Vegas type shows that you can watch. Like I said, we're going on a Royal Caribbean, so they have the DreamWorks character parade. They also have, this includes all of your activities. So the ship that we're going to be on has a splash pad area for the kids. It has water slides, pools, a rock climbing wall, ice skating, miniature golf, ping pong tables, fitness center, all kinds of stuff. Now there is stuff that is additional, like spa treatments or specific fitness classes, things like that. But for the most part, this includes your whole vacation on the ship, and then you get to go to, like I said, you get to go to the different ports. Now, once you get into port, you have to decide what you want to do, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. Now, another expense that some people may not be aware of when you are going on a cruise, you will have a gratuity to pay, and this is per day or per night per person, similar to like a resort fee if you were staying at a resort on land. This gets split up between several crew members within the ship. So basically right now it's $14.50 per person per day. So for us, for 4 people, 7 days, that's going to be an extra $406. This is charged to your room or your account basically while you're on the ship, so you'll be required to pay it at the end of the cruise, or you can choose to prepay it. These things in orange means that we already have this money put aside, so we are actually probably going to prepay it before we go, and that's just because we want to take care of as many expenses ahead of time, so we feel like it's more of an all-inclusive experience and we don't have to deal with a bunch of balances or anything at the end of the cruise. So one variable with the gratuities is the type of room you're in, okay? So we are in a balcony, so it's $14.50 per person. If you are in a suite, then it's more like $16.50 per person. So it just, that will be a variable as well. All right, so now to talk about, we got to get to the cruise, right? So you need to decide where are you leaving from? Where do you need to get to? So we're leaving from Galveston, Texas. We live in El Mirage, Arizona. For us, we decided we're going to drive. That's the most cost-effective way for us to go. For those of you who've been following, we do things as budget-friendly as possible. So for us, from Arizona to Texas, it's going to be 1,252 miles, one way, and back. So we're estimating our gas going to be about $360. We will be parking at the Port of Galveston for 7 days. So if we prepay, we get a little bit of a discount, so it'll be $80. And then we are actually going to be staying, originally, Ricky and I were going to take turns driving, so we were going to drive straight through. Basically, I was going to drive for about 9 hours, and then he was going to drive for about 9 hours and just do it straight through because we've done treks like that before. We decided to go ahead and stay at some more budget-friendly hotels, and we actually are going to stop halfway through. So we're going to leave on October 12th by 6 a.m. Arizona time, and we're going to go ahead and stay at the Days Inn in Van Horn, Texas. So that's about a 9-hour drive. It's going to be $81.36. They do the free continental breakfast, so just your basic, pastries and stuff for breakfast. And then when we get to Galveston, we're just going to stay at a Super 8. Again, we're going to leave from the Days Inn by 6 a.m. so we will get to the Galveston on 10/13, the day before we leave for the cruise. And that one's going to be $90.40. I apologize for the jets going over. And then this is on the way back. So the ship will get back on October 21st. Now the ship gets there at 6 and then people start disembarking. Now I'm not sure exactly how long that whole process will take. I just put on here that we would leave by 7 in the morning. It could be closer to like 9 in the morning, to be honest with you, by the time we get off the ship, get to the car, and start driving back. But we're just going to go straight back through. Again, we're going to stay at that Days Inn in Van Horn, Texas again, and that time it will be $87.01. So this covers, basically right here, our gas, our parking, and our hotels. That covers all of our pre and post cruise travel. We are going to be bringing a cooler with food and snacks and stuff for the drive up, so we don't plan on spending any extra money on food on the way up. We will probably get some food on the way back. If you're not driving and you're flying, then that's what's going to be a total different variable versus what we have. Same thing, the distance that you're driving, what type of hotels you want to stay in. Now comes down to your ports. So our first stop is going to be Cozumel, Mexico. We are actually going to do the Playa Maya Beach Resort. We are going to do the full-on package. With this one, you can either choose just to have access to the beach resort, which is basically they have a pool, they have some water slides and some kids splash pad area. They have the nice beachfront property. They have kayaks and little sailboat things that you can use. They have a jump up water park trampoline type thing. So you can pay for just access to that, or you can pay for that and have a buffet on top of it, an all-you-can-eat buffet, or you can also add unlimited drinks. So we're going to do the whole package with the buffet, unlimited drinks. This is alcohol and non-alcoholic drinks, and the whole beach thing for the day. So that's going to be $252, and that counts the transportation. So basically the bus that takes us from port to the resort and then takes us back. So $252. This is our most expensive shore excursion day because we just wanted to do something. We do have 2 children. Our youngest is 4 and our oldest is 7. So we wanted you're going to see all of our shore excursions are so our 4-year-old can have a good time as well. And the next day we're going to be in Grand Cayman Island. We are just going to take the bus route. There are several bus routes that go to where we want to go, and it's only $2.50 per person per trip. So we're just going to take, these are the routes I put down here so I know. We're going to go to the Turtle Center. We're just going to pay the basic admission for that. You can do another part of that where you swim with the turtles. They have like a little man-made lagoon type thing. You know, you can do other shore excursions through the cruise line where you a little tour of the island and then go to the turtle farm. There's different things that you can do, but we're just going to do the basic thing. So basically, for us to go from port to the Turtle Center, and then we're going to go from the Turtle Center to Duke's Seafood, which is on 7 Mile Beach, and then from 7 Mile Beach to the port again, it's going to be about $30 for us to take the little bus. And I say bus, but they're basically little van. We're going to go to the Turtle Center. It's going to be $45. Elsa will be free because she is 4, so that's nice. And then we're just going to budget $65 for us to hang out and eat lunch and stuff like that. So we're going to go, like I said, we're going to go to Duke's Seafood and Ribs. It's right across the street from the 7 Mile Public Beach access. So we're just going to bring our own towels and our own snorkel gear. And then we're going to basically go have some crab legs or jerk chicken or something like that. You know, have some nice food over there at Duke's. And then we're just going to go across the street to 7 Mile Beach. It's also next to a restaurant bar called Calico Jack's. So we may just purchase like a bucket of beer or something like that and just hang out at the free beach. So that's going to be $65 basically for lunch and drinks. So basically like about $140 will be for our second day. So less than the first day. Last port is Jamaica. We are going to go on a shore excursion. This one's going to be through the cruise line. The Playa Maya beach, this one we're actually just going to book through Playa Maya. You can book it through the cruise, but their prices are a little bit higher. The bus and the turtle farm, all this we're basically just doing on our own. And then Green Grotto, we are doing a shore excursion through the cruise line. So this is the Green Grotto Caves. It's called the Express because it's only maybe a 2.5 hour type thing. That will take us, the bus will take us to the caves. We'll have a guided tour and then it will take us back to port, and that's about $174. And we went ahead and just added $50 here for lunch. I put Margaritaville because there's a Margaritaville right there in port in Jamaica. However, there is a jerk chicken type place across the street from the caves. So I just have to confirm if we're allowed, like if we can go across the street and eat lunch and then catch a bus back to port. So that, you know, this could change as far as where we have lunch, but we're basically budgeting about $50 for lunch. Okay, so that's basically, those are all things to think about. Again, those are a lot of different variables depending on where you're going and what you want to do and how many people do you have with you, okay? So if you just want to go and kind of explore on your own, then you're basically going to need some lunch money and some cab money, your beach gear, and you'll be good to go. If you want to do like we're doing kind of more of all-inclusive beach day or a tour or something like that, then it's going to cost you a little bit differently. Again, like I said, we did everything that was age appropriate for my 4-year-old. There are a lot of things to do, swimming with dolphins or the stingrays, you know, doing scuba diving and all kinds of stuff that you riding on a catamaran, doing other beaches, a lot of other things to do for sure. So don't think that that's all there is to do. That's just what we're doing that's appropriate for my 4-year-old. Zip lining, that's something I would really like to do. All right, so now let's go back to stuff to think about while you're on the ship. Alcohol is not included. You are allowed to bring with the Royal Caribbean, the ship that we're going to be on, the Liberty of the Seas, you are allowed to bring 2 bottles of champagne and or wine. Okay, so we're going to bring 1 champagne and 1 wine. Otherwise, alcohol drinks, you can purchase drink packages. So you have to look at how much you think you're going to drink versus the price of the drink package and see if it's going to be worth it for you. It is not going to be worth it for us. We do like to drink. We don't want to drink every single day of our vacation because I don't want to be hungover and I don't want to have to force myself to try to drink more to make up for the cost. So most of the drink packages are going to be about $50 per person per day. The way Royal Caribbean does it is if one person in the stateroom purchases it, anyone else in the stateroom who's over 21 has to purchase it. They do not want anyone sharing their packages. And so that would end up being, you know, an extra $400 something per person or something crazy like that. We're not gonna do that. We plan on maybe having 1 or 2 nights where we might actually go to the bars and have the girls stay in the daycare. You know, we're not gonna go crazy drinking with that. Like, so we're gonna bring 2 of our own. And we are getting 1 bottle for free. Okay, so that's, you know, things to think about. So we're gonna budget another $168. We don't have that money put aside yet, so it's black. But we're gonna budget. We're gonna bring at least another $168 specifically for drinks on the ship. I do want to try doing the drink of the day, and then, like I mentioned, we're gonna do, you know, maybe 1 or 2 nights where we're kind of bar hopping. Casino money, we're just gonna do $80, so basically $40 each. We do like to gamble a little bit, but we're not really that, it's not like a huge thing. We don't like to spend a lot of money doing it. Primarily, like when we go to Vegas, we like to just sit and gamble for a little while because you get free drinks. When you're on the cruise, it doesn't work that way. You don't get free drinks for gambling. So, you know, we're just gonna do 40 bucks each and call it good. Extra tipping money, we're gonna bring an extra $40 in once for extra tipping money. So yes, we've already paid gratuity, but there are some people that don't get paid part of this gratuity. You know, anyone who's handling your bags, you might want to tip some of the performers at the different locations. You might want to tip a specific bartender, your room steward, things like that. They might be doing an extra good job. Okay, so this is a character breakfast. So again, we're going to be on the ship with the DreamWorks character. So this is something that does cost extra, but it's breakfast in the main dining room on the second night is when we're going to do it. Basically our first breakfast on board. And the characters are going to be around. They can take pictures and all of that fun stuff. So that was $10 per person. My youngest is 4, so she was free, so that's $30. We actually already paid that using part of our onboard credit. So I'm going to talk about deposits and onboard credit, extra room amenities here in arcade play. So they actually had a deal online where you could get $25 worth of arcade play money for only $20. So we went ahead and did, you know, each of the girls are getting $25 worth of play. It cost us $40. We already paid that. You know, we kind of have like our casino money and the girls have their arcade money. So now we have our extra food. So this is basically room service and Johnny Rockets. That's the only extra food we're going to pay for on board. We are not going to do any of this specialty dining like I mentioned you can do. But basically room service, in the morning, the continental breakfast is free. Everything else has a delivery charge of just under $8, $7 and some change. So we plan on probably doing room service maybe twice while we're on board. Johnny Rockets is also, it's similar in price. It's basically $7.90 or something like that per person, but then you can order as much as you want off the menu minus the milkshakes. So we're going to plan on, we'll probably eat at Johnny Rockets once. We'll probably get room service twice. So we're going to go ahead and put, we're going to budget $50 specifically for that. Anything else you want to do on board, if you want to do spa treatments, you're going to want to budget for that. If you're going to want to, there are some fitness classes. There's like a stretch class that I want to take. That's no extra charge. But if you want to do like Pilates or yoga, some of those other classes might cost extra. So you want to look into that. If you want to participate in the art auction, you'll want to look at that. If you want to participate in shopping, so all of the cruise lines usually have some shops that you can go shopping from. So you want to think about that. Also, when you're at port, if you plan on doing shopping, you want to do that. We don't really plan on doing shopping. I may add on here a little bit for souvenirs if we decide we want to do that, but I don't really plan on like shopping for anything. So now it's time to think of things that you may need to purchase that you don't have that you want or that you might even need. So we want to get 4 snorkel sets. So we don't currently have that. So that might be something that you guys already have on hand. I've seen them maybe about $14.99 at the store, so we're just gonna assume we're gonna budget about $60 for our snorkel gear. We'll see how that ends up going. Formal night clothes. So again, you may want to get a new bathing suit. You might want to get formal night attire. You might want to get all new outfits. You might want to get some sunglasses or hats or backpacks or whatever it is that you might want to add to it. We don't really have some really nice formal attire, so we want to do formal attire. We're budgeting $200, basically $50 per family member. I have this as blue, and I have 1X over here because we have purchased the girls' formal dresses. My husband and I have not purchased our formal wear yet, so we'll kind of see. It might end up being more than that. We are going to bring 1 bottle of wine and 1 bottle of champagne. We like just to drink the Barefoot brand, and so that's basically, you know, $20 a bottle, a little under $20 a bottle, so about $40 for that. The other thing is luggage. So we only had 1 carry-on size luggage. We decided that we all wanted our own luggage. We wanted to do those hard covered luggages. Actually, join me. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show you the luggage that we did end up buying. But that was $185 for 4 of our luggage. So again, that's green and it's marked off because we've already purchased it. The other thing to consider on here are passports, if you guys need passports or anything like that. So my husband's passport was expired, so this time we went ahead and just got him a passport card. The passport cards are good for traveling to Canada and Mexico and the Caribbean and the Bahamas. So it was cheaper than a passport, but we did put a rush on it. Even though, you know, it would come 4 to 6 weeks, so you could order it plenty of time ahead. My husband he felt more comfortable having it come in 2 to 3 weeks, so we did pay for the rush on it. So that was $140. He did have to have a new picture taken and things like that. So moving forward though, obviously we're not going to need the luggage again. Probably won't need snorkel gear again. Same thing if you want to use the same formal clothes, we'll have those on hand. So there are some things that we will not be purchasing every time we go on a cruise. And then moving forward also, we will probably end up getting passports for everybody in the whole family. As of right now, like I said, Ricky's just using the passport card and the girls and I are just using our birth certificates. Basically, if you leave from a U.S. port and you're going to the Caribbean and you're coming back to the same U.S. port, you can just use your birth certificate. All in all, our grand total comes out to $4,923.77. We actually have a $150 onboard credit. So this is something I wanted to talk about. Depending on the type of room that you book, sometimes you'll get onboard credit. Also, we did a option because we got a balcony room. We did the option of a non-refundable deposit. So we were given a $100 onboard credit. I've completed Royal Caribbean's training, so I am a master of adventures as far as travel agents go. So I'm allowed $50 onboard credit at least once a year, so I'm going to take it on this trip. So I have $150 onboard credit. So basically, what our total will end up being with $4,773.77. Also, if you book with me, we have different groups already scheduled on a lot of these sailings. When you book through a group, you get a few different perks. First perk is you have a reduced deposit. So for instance, for a 7-night cruise, we would have had to put $250 per person down. So we would have had to put $1,000 down to hold the room that we wanted and to hold the price, the sale, the kids sail free. In order to hold all that, we would have had to put $1,000 down. So because we booked through a group, we actually had reduced deposits. So we only had to put $500 down. Also, because the group that we're doing is we get a few more what we call in-room amenities, or group amenities. So we're getting another bottle of champagne for free. We're getting a fruit plate and some cupcakes in addition. Otherwise, we have other groups where you might get onboard credit. So you might get $50 onboard credit instead of that, or you might have a cocktail reception, a free cocktail reception, things like that. So there are perks to booking into a group. If you have a group specifically, you have a group of family members or friends or something that you want to get together, there are even more perks on top of that. If you're the one, putting the group together, I can always talk to you guys about that, or I can book you into different groups that we have. It's not necessarily groups that you have to spend any time with. It's just you get some added perks by me being able to book you into them. If you want me to work with you, then I can help you with your budget. I can help you pick, what's going to be the best cruise and date and all that for you, and then I can help you out with making sure that we get you the best deal that we can. I keep an eye on all the deals. Being a travel agent, we kind of get a heads up before a sale goes on, so I can always say, hey, there's a kids sale sale coming up if that's something you're interested in, or second guest is half off, whatever it is that I can look out for those for you. If you have any other questions or you're actually interested in booking a cruise, like I said, I'll leave my email in the description. And I'd be happy to help you guys out. So that's our budget. Like I said, there's a lot of different variables to think about, but I wanted you guys to kind of see this is how all of the different things to think about. I feel like the
a cruise is definitely the most bang for your buck because you get a full experience. You get to travel to several places. You're not just in one spot. You get that all-inclusive feeling while you're on the ship with all of the activities and the entertainment and the food and all of that. I think it's a super great deal. But that's basically, that is our budget. Like I said, we have pretty much most of the money already put aside specifically. We're closing out August here, so we have September. We basically have a month and a half before we leave, so we're super excited. We're getting, we're starting to get stuff like we got our luggage. So next things up, so Ricky and I are going to find our formal attire and we're going to get our snorkels. And then we're ready. We're pretty much ready to go. Yeah, so let me know if you have any questions below. Again, if you are interested in going on a cruise, you can email me personally. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!